So good morning and welcome to this lecture of semiconductors. Today we are going to study about semiconductors, and let me introduce myself. Myself Dr. N.D. Mesham, Head and Associate Professor, Department of Electronics, Sri Mathura Das Mohta College of Science. And yeah, we are studying semester 2, the syllabus of RTM Nagpur University, paper 1, right? So let us start. I will share my screen with you. Yeah, I guess my screen is visible to you all. So we'll study this. I guess I have a brief, uh, I have a brief, say, brief introduction of the semiconductors. Hopefully, I was trying to put it on the board so that I could share my, say, difference between the semiconductors and now. So, but let us try this. I guess it's visible now. So we were working on semiconductors, hopefully, right? So what are semiconductors actually? So semiconductors are actually materials which are being used in these ICs and these transistors and LEDs, right? Semiconductors which lies between the conductors and the insulators. We will learn this one by one, right? So semiconductors actually are work as a conductor at room temperature and works as insulator at say absolute zero temperature. That is why they are called as semiconductors. They lie between the conductors and the insulators, right? So what is a semiconductor? So a semiconductor, you can say, like, it is a half conductor and a half insulator, right? So this photo actually depicts that a person is half working and other half is not working, right? So at one time it will work as conductor and at the other time it will work as an insulator. So yeah, so this is the example of semiconductors. These are the chips where we are developed this. This is a microprocessor. This is LED. Then we are having a transistor. We are having capacitor. So capacitor is not a semiconductor actually, but these are devices. So microprocessors basically consist of the semiconductor materials, and they are being broadly used to reduce the size of the ICs, right? So as you can see, we have the first computer at the area of 1200 square feet, right? Now this has been reduced to this small chip. So पहला जो कंप्यूटर हमने बनाया था वो पहला कंप्यूटर 1200 स्क्वायर फीट जगह लेता था रखने के लिए, एक पूरा कंप्यूटर, राइट, जिसमें वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स लगे हुए थे. अब उसको हम लोगों ने पूरा रिप्लेस किया ये छोटे से इसके साथ. ये जो छोटा सा चिप आपको दिख रहा है ये इसलिए रिड्यूस हुआ क्योंकि आपके पूरे के पूरे जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है वो डिवाइसेस है वो पूरे इतने इसमें आ गए, right? And that is the main reason why semiconductors have been extensively used. These are the transistors which are being prepared of semiconductors. We'll study this. These are capacitors which has no concern with the semiconductor. Yeah, this is LED again, the light emitting diode, right? So diodes actually are the basics of semiconductors. So we'll study that. So LED, you have all seen these LEDs. Unfortunately, we are not able to use this LEDs in practicals, but let's hope for good. So in the next session, we might use these LEDs over there. So LEDs are there, light emitting diodes. I guess you have seen it in your television sets. The small light is blinking over there. That is called as the LED. And we have one more LED in our remote control, that is IR LED. So these are the semiconductors. Now, what are semiconductors actually? The semiconductors are actually belonging to the group 4 elements. So if you are able to see this, carbon, silicon, germanium, cyanide, and PV, these are the semiconductors. And these yellow जो दिख रहे हैं ये, they all are concerned about semiconductors. So group three elements are also some way or the other being used, in which boron, aluminum, gallium in these. I don't know much about this chemistry. Phosphor, arsenide, terbium, and this I don't know. So just group 4 elements, which are carbon, silicon, germanium. These are the semiconductors which are being extensively used. Now, why only these group 4 elements are being used? Because they are having 4 electrons in their outermost shell. So that is being used over there. Now, range of conduciveness. Conducive means conductness, right? So how they are conduct. So depending on the resistance of a material, its conductivity is being measured, right? So insulators, if you see, there is no conductivity. So insulators are not good conductor of heat and electricity. So that is why their conductivity lies in between here. And semiconductors are lies between say 10 raised to power minus 6 to say 10 raised to power 3, 10 raised to power 4 kilo ohms, right? So these are there, and then metals are all good conductors of electricity, so their conductivity is higher than that. So 10 raised to power 4 to 10 raised to power 8 is the conductivity. Then here are some of the examples are given. We are having silica, fused silica, diamond, glass. They all are insulators, which are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Silicon is the main actor in playing the role of a semiconductor. Then germanium is there, iron, copper, and all the metals lies within the metals, right? So this is the insulators and semiconductors. So semiconductors fall somewhere midway between conductors and insulators, right? So this is what I need to show you in on the say blackboard on the board, that we have a difference that in resistance and in say conductance. So the resistivity of metal or the conductor is less, that is zero. Insulator is very high, infinity, and uh, the resistance of a semiconductor lies between, is greater than the conductor and say smaller than the insulator, right? So it lies between that. Then we work on the conductors, the conductivity of the materials. Then conductivity, in terms of conductivity, the metals or the conductors are having high conductivity, whereas uh, the insulator does not conduct. It has zero conductivity. If you can see over here, so 10 raised to power minus 20 and all. So it does not conduct. So conductivity is very low as far as insulators are concerned, and the semiconductors lies between. The conductivity of a semiconductor is higher, lower than the conductor and higher than the insulator, right? So that is why it is said that semiconductors lies between the insulator and the conductor, right? So this is there. Then this is the range of conductiveness. Now, if you see this, if you apply wood over here, the light won't glow, means it does not conduct. If you will apply steel over here, it will glow, right? If you apply wood over here, then the bulb will not glow. The semiconductors have special electronic properties which allow them to be insulating or conducting depending on their composition. So if you put a wood in between this circuit, the light is not going to glow, which implies that it is an insulator. And if you put a copper over there, then the light glows, which shows that the copper is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Even steel and say glass is there. If you put glass over here, still the light does not glow. It shows that semiconductor lies between again the conductor and the insulator. Actually, this circuit, this uh, say GI file animation shows actually what is a conductor and what is an insulator, right? So this is conductivity. Now, the history of semiconductors when it started. So in 1824, the first to isolate and identify silicon. This is the person John Jacob Puzzles over there, and this remains little more than a scientific curiosity until the 1900s. So his research, semiconductor, started in 1824 itself. I guess somebody should mute, mute his mic. Noises are coming. In 1833, this person, Michael Faraday, discovered that electrical resistivity decreases as temperature increases in silver sulfide, right? So this was the example of Michael Faraday, and he also invented electromagnetic induction. And this was the metals versus semiconductors. This is a chart. So at different temperatures, the resistance of the materials changes, right? So this is a copper. So at absolute 0 degree temperature, copper is having 31 ohms resistance, whereas germanium is having only 5.2 ohms. And as you go on increasing the temperature, so at 75 degrees centigrade, copper is having a resistance of 41 ohms, whereas germanium is having a resistance of 0.63 ohms, or at 100 degrees centigrade, it is having 0.29 ohms. So it implies that the resistance of the material changes with respect to the temperature, right? And this was discovered by Michael Faraday. And this was William Smith, who has written a paper on selenium, and it has shown the electrical properties and effect of light thereon. And he has discovered actually the photoconductivity of selenium and invents selenium photometer that time in 1873. So these are some of the research. Then 1874, Ferdinand Braun, he discovered the first semiconductor device over there, and radio receivers requires a device called a rectifier. Now this is a rectifier circuit which we'll study in the applications of a diode, so which is used to make AC signal into DC. So that particular circuit is called as a rectifier, right? So he used the rectifying properties of the galena crystal, a semiconductor material composed of lead sulfide, to create the Katz-Fisker diode. So for this purpose, right? So this was history. And in 1927, Sommerfeld and Bloch, they both uh, applied quantum mechanics to solids, helping explain the conduction of electricity in semiconductors. So they were the one who have actually invented the semiconductors, and this is the basic concept between conduction band, right? The basic scientific principle. Now, as you know that in an atom we have a conduction band and we have a valence band, right? And in between that we are having a band gap, right? So what is this actually? This is the energy of electrons in the